Hi, I'm Aaron, and welcome to the Slim, Fitty, and Biggie Committee podcast, where me and my best friends, Danny and Matt, take a deep dive into hip hop, the genre that has formed an integral part of our lives. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at _Slim, Fitty, Biggie Committee, and stay tuned for any upcoming podcast news. Coming up on today's show, we have something special for you. We are doing the Rollin 50 Deep review. That's right, it's me and Danny today. Matt's off, but it's just me and Danny. We're going through the track Rollin 50 Deep. It's got 50 rappers on it. It's posse cut, a cypher, whatever you want to call it. And that's what we're doing today. So get ready and let's get into it.
Alrighty, welcome to the Slim, Fitty, Biggie Committee podcast. We've got a special today. So no Matthew, he's on a break. He's taken a break. His life is very busy. He doesn't have busy to give us, what, Danny, like 2 hours of his time. He's a busy man.
I know. It's his birthday week too, though.
It is his birthday week, so happy birthday to Matthew.
Yeah.
8th of December. We have to figure out what we're doing for Matt, but he probably won't listen to this for a while, so we can talk about it.
This won't come out until like 3 years from now.
Yeah, so we can talk about his birthday over here. This is actually a birthday episode for him, but he's not a part of it.
Yeah, I know.
But we're not just going to talk about Matt's birthday. We can do that in our private time. It'll be very quick. We're not doing much. But we are talking about the DJ K Slay track that came out, 50 rappers. It is called Rollin 50 Deep. So 50 rappers appear on it. It is an absolute mega song. Like, it is huge. It's, what is it, like 18 and a half minutes or something like that, Danny?
Yeah, I think you're spot on.
So 18 and a half minutes, it is a posse cut. It just goes, it's like a cypher. They just go in bars after bar after bar after bars. No hook. If you like hip-hop, if you like rap, if you like verses and you like lyrics, this is the track for you.
Yeah, this is as big as it gets. Like, I've never heard a song with 50 rappers on it, ever. This is massive.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, we have obviously listened to it multiple times. Like, you would think that we would just get bored of it, but there is enough in there for you not to get bored.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've listened to it at least, I'd say 4 times. Let's say at least 4 times, but I don't have an actual number on it, to be honest.
Well, I've listened to it, I reckon. I listened to it every day last week, at least every day last week, just to let it sit, because I was driving to work, so I had to let it percolate.
Yeah.
It is one of those ones where, like, if you're on a drive or you're going for a walk, you can just let it play.
Yeah. And that'll be a long walk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for some people, it might be very short, but for us, we're sitting, we do podcasts, we talk, it's very long.
Yeah.
But, Danny, have you heard of his previous track, Rollin 25 Deep?
Through this song, through coming across Rollin 50 Deep, I found out that this isn't like the first big posse cut he's done. And yeah, so I did find out that he's done something like this in the past. And what is it? 25 Deep.
Yeah, it's 25. So he's doubled it. Maybe he'll do 100.
Yeah. No, but didn't he do like 25 Deep twice though? It was like on a mixtape.
Yeah, he did a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, so altogether, I think, wasn't it 50? Like, he did 25 and 25?
Yeah, I think they're like 8 minutes each or something like that. I haven't properly listened to them, but I did have a look at them.
Yeah, but those were like, I don't know how far back he did those, but they were just like on mixtapes. I don't know if they're high quality or anything. Like, this is official. This is like an album quality, 18-minute long track with 50 rappers who are actually, good rappers, like famous OGs and then underground rappers, but like some good names in here.
Yeah, the list of people on this track is extremely impressive. Like, when I went through the track list, like, in terms of who was on it, and then I watched the music video. I recommend watching the music video because that is sick.
Yeah.
And even watching the music video, I was surprised by who is actually on this track.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, if you haven't heard it, go listen to it right now and then come back to this, because you will actually enjoy this more if you just listen to it. It is so easy to listen to.
Yeah, and like, well, the way I came across it was, I was scrolling on Reddit, and then this came on. It was like this massive title of like DJ K Slay Rolling 50 Deep featuring blah 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 blah. And I looked at how long the title was, and maybe I saw, Royce to 5'9" and a couple of other names that I recognized. So I was like, all right, check this out. But I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know all the rappers who were going to be on it. Like, I knew Royce, so that's about it. So when I put it on and I started watching the video, and then it was just rapper after rapper of like, oh my God, I love him. And then the next dude's like, oh my God, he's the best. He's just like, I couldn't believe he got all these amazing rappers on one song. I like couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and the fact that they were all down to do his like vision and his idea.
Yeah.
And like,
and maybe like 95% of them like made a video, like recorded video for it as well. It's amazing.
And the thing is, though, it is a huge risk because you get compared to every single other person on this track. Like, it is literally a head to head to head to head to head 50 times. Like, it is crazy that they all were like, yeah, let's do it. And then just that didn't even cut it apart. Like, it's just one after the other after the other. There's no break, no hook, no nothing. It just keeps going and going.
Yeah, I love that. I just love that. That's like the spirit of hip hop. Just everyone in on the cypher, show us what you got, who's going to win, who's going to take the top prize. And we're going to decide that today.
We are going to decide that today. Our top five. We've each sat down separately to our top five. I'm keen to know who you chose as your number one.
Yeah.
And who goes into your top five, because it wasn't an easy choice. Like, it is quite hard.
Yeah, because there's 50 of them, and like you have to break it down to your top five. That's a big task. How much crossover do you think we'll have?
I don't know. I'm hoping we have at least 2 or 3. Yeah. I'd be surprised if we had none. Yeah. But I reckon there are some standouts.
Yeah. I think I'm the same as you. I'm guessing 2, possibly 3. But I'm gonna, my big prediction. This is a big prediction. Could be wrong, but I think we'll have the same number one.
I think so too.
Do you? Oh, man.
Yeah, I do.
That'll be embarrassing if like my top one is like not even on your list.
Yeah, like who was that?
Yeah. But now I'm excited. I really do think like number one is like, for me, it's maybe one other guy comes close, but number one is so strong for me.
Yeah, same. I knew number one first.
Okay.
Like I 100% knew my number one, and then I was like, all right, now I've got to figure it out. And there's a lot of them that came into contention.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, for me, basically the top 2 was easy, and then the other 3 spots were actually kind of hard for me. So for me, there's 2 massive standouts of the whole song, and then the other 3 are great, but like not even on the level of the top 2.
Yeah. Well, before we get into who we chose as number 5, I think it's worth like acknowledging where this track is sampled from. So DJ K-Slay actually sampled Biggie's track Victory, and that is one of my favorite tracks. I love that track. I know you don't like Busta Rhymes in it, but Biggie absolutely kills it on that. And it also samples Bill Conti. Do you know who Bill Conti is?
Is he like an old school funk soul R&B?
No. He actually wrote the score for Rocky.
I knew the name sounded familiar. That makes
Yeah.
Okay.
So he has the Bill Conti Rocky. I love Rocky. He has that sound. So as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, this sounds Rocky-esque. And he sampled Victory. So he's got he chose such a good beat. Like, this is a cypher beat for sure.
Yeah, I honestly did not pick up the Victory. So it's a sample of Victory, is it?
Yeah.
I can't, like, I couldn't hear that. I didn't realize that at all. I'll have to go back and listen again, see if I can actually pick up what specific part of Victory it's sampling. I cannot figure that out.
I think it's the beginning.
Okay, yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's taken the beginning and he's looped it and made it like just this epic, constant loop.
Okay, that's cool.
But the thing is, in Spotify, it doesn't have DJ K Slay's intro.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
It's a separate track, isn't it? It's like isn't it a separate?
Yeah, it's a separate track, but in the music video, it is included, and I think it should be included as one track.
Yeah, I actually, I listened to the Spotify version. I was like, it just doesn't sound right without K Slay at the front. It's because then it just jumps straight into the first verse, and it's too sudden. Like, you need that build up. You need that victory build up. You need that hype man K Slay build up.
Yeah, and he kind of explains what he's trying to do here. Like, he's trying to be like, he's going back to the original art form of like rappers just going for it, like the culture, and like it's just sick that he just has so much passion in his voice, and he's just like getting ready. It's like in a boxing match when the hype man is like, naming the boxes. It's the same thing. Without it, it misses something for sure.
Yeah. That's why I only listened to the video version.
Yeah. I unfortunately didn't when I was in the car. I was like, I can't watch the video, so I will do, but I did miss it for sure. I just like hearing him just set it all up.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we kind of get into it?
Mm-hmm.
Shall we? Well, Danny, you found this track, so you shared it to me. I'd heard it, but I hadn't looked in. Like, I hadn't heard the track, but I saw it rolling 50 deep and hype, and I literally just didn't open any of the articles or anything I was looking at. I just went over it, but you put it in the Slim Fitty Biggie Committee podcast group, and then that's how I got into this one. So do you want to kick it off with your number 5?
Okay, you want me to go first, huh?
I do, yeah.
That means you're going to finish. Oh, you get the final say. It's not fair.
Well, no, because you get the final say. You get to do your number 1 first.
Yeah,
and if
you
it's
get
the
to
same,
be last. Okay.
Yeah.
And the way. So, should we explain the way we're going to count this down?
Yeah. So we're going to do your number 5, then my number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, so on and so forth. But if one of our rappers is earlier in the list, so the example we used, if like Danny chose Jay-Z now, Jay-Z is not in this, just so you know. It'd be cool if he was, but he's not in it. But if Danny chose Jay-Z at number 5, and I had Jay-Z at number 2, we would discuss Jay-Z when it comes to number 2. So we'll just skip discussing it straight away.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'm excited. Who'd you have?
All right. Number 5, here we go. I'm like scared now. Like I'm going to say a name. You're going to be like, who? Like he didn't even register for me. Okay, number 5 is RJ Payne.
Do you know what?
What?
He is also my number 5.
You're joking.
No.
That's mental.
Yeah, he is my number 5 as well. I had a few I was tossing up between, but I landed on RJ Payne.
Yeah, he, like, that 5th spot was the one that I was really tossing up between. Like, I was super confident with 1 and 2. I was pretty confident with 3 and 4, and the 5th spot was a big fight, and I gave it to the big RJ Payne. And that is hilarious that you also put him at number 5, because I did not think that would be one of our crossovers.
No, neither did I. And the thing is, I had never heard of RJ Payne until this track.
Yeah. He was not on my radar at all until this track, but like he's definitely on my radar now. I'll just like, I think he's like a respected battle rapper. Like he's an underground battle rapper. And I love just those opening bars are just so dope to me when he goes, Slay told me to get the weaponry, so I wrote the verse before he got finished texting me.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's just so dope. Just because, like, you know, it's so dope when rappers brag about doing things that are literally impossible. Like, it's literally impossible for bloody K-Slay to be texting him and he finish his verse before the text was received. Like, that's so funny to me. I love that so much.
His delivery on there as well is amazing.
I
Like, it's
love
not
it.
only the line, but the delivery
Yeah.
is just so confident.
Yes, yeah. I like, yeah, just that he's so aggressive with his bars, which is like all battle rappers are, and like battle rappers on ciphers is the best. Like they know how to deliver a cipher verse really strong, and like he kills it. Like he's also like got some cool TV and movie references at the end with like The Walking Dead and Mahogany the movie, and like he just really impressed me. Like he's also the only guy on my top 5 that I hadn't heard before. So the other 4 I am very familiar with, and it's just this RJ Payne who is now on my radar after this song.
Yeah, I also like the fact that the way, like I said it before, but his delivery is like just, like he's like, when he finishes with cigar and mahogany, he
Yes.
just like finishes with so much conviction
Yeah.
that you like cannot not take notice of like the way he's worked the rhyme, and like there's just cool stuff there, like his cult has been sitting next to me, and it's multi-syllable rhyming as well. Like he's like, I'm glowing and look, my cult been sitting next to me. Yeah, rapper remarkably savage authority, clapping and sniffing. Daryl Dixon, look, I'm practicing archery.
Love it.
Like he
Love
just
it.
sounds so good,
Yeah.
and just the wordplay, it's got it all. Like I wrote originally when I was just going through, like this is the surprise packet.
Mhm.
Bars, just the voice, everything here, and he looks so cool in the music video as well. Just sitting in his car, you know, he's got his bottle and he's just like going for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is like all day. This is amazing.
Yes. So now I feel like there's potential that we could have like 4 crossovers now, which would be mental.
I know.
I really think we might have 4.
Maybe I would be very impressed if we did.
Yeah, I think there's one that I would be very surprised if you put my number 3 on your list. But
look, based on the way you speak, I kind of know who you're talking about.
Really, I doubt it. I doubt
it. Maybe there was a Smokey that was greatly considered, but we'll talk about it after my top 5 as to why potentially I considered them, because there was someone who was like kind of outside what the realm of thought, like my general what I like. But yeah, I 100% agree with RJ Payne.
Yes. All right, so that's cute. That is very cute of us to put the same number 5. So should you do the number 4 then?
Yeah, I'll take the number 4.
Okay.
My number 4 is the legend Grandmaster Kaz.
Wow. Not on my list, but I like the choice. I like the choice a lot.
He made it onto my list because I thought his delivery was amazing.
Mhm.
Like, I just love his verse from start to finish. It's like, I just like the Spanish at the beginning. I like that he says, if I was the 10, I'd be the 1, you'd be the 0. And no, I'm not the GOAT, motherfucker. I'm the hero. And then he goes into like, I'm the alpha, you're the Ramiro. And then he, like, I just love how it's like, I'm not rich out this bitch. I'm no Palmer Cortland, no mansions, no yachts, and no fleet of cars, but I'm the beast on this mic. You couldn't find sweeter bars. And just drop the mic, and that to me was like absolutely everything. And I love hearing a legend absolutely kill it. Like, to me, he just showed that even though he is old school hip hop, he's still got it.
Yeah.
Like, his voice, the content, it was braggadocious, but like he just did it in his own sick way.
Mm-hmm. And he is like truly you could almost say he's like the OG of the rap game in a way. Like, he was the dude who wrote Rapper's Delight in 1979, like the first ever rap song. He wrote it. Like the I forget his name, Big Bank Hank or something, was the actual guy who rapped Rapper's Delight, but he stole the rhymes from Grandmaster Caz's notebook. So that's how OG this guy is, and he still got it. I also love that I'm the Alpha, you're the Romero. That is so funny. That is so funny to me. So yeah, that is a very good choice. Not in my top 5 though.
Well, I am interested who you picked as number 4, but yeah, I was very impressed. I'm like, oh god, I wish he did more. To be honest, like I wish there was Grandmaster Caz and more modern beats.
I know. I think, yeah, I know. I'm like, why did he stop rapping? He needs to keep doing stuff.
Yeah, his voice is fantastic. Like he's just got a grimy voice.
Yeah, like he would fit in today. People should get him on tracks. Bloody Kendrick, get him on.
Yeah, well, hopefully, well, maybe if he doesn't want to get on that, he can get on the podcast because we're clearly big fans of the Grandmaster Caz.
Yeah, we are now anyway.
Yeah. All right, Danny, who'd you have? Number 4.
Number 4. I feel like this could be a crossover. Or maybe not. But I actually went with, for my number 4, Twister.
Well, I have Twister in my list, but he is not at number 4. He is higher up. I'll wait before he comes up.
Wow.
He's higher up. Yeah.
Is he higher than 3?
Correct.
Okay. So let's
So I don't want to reveal where he comes in.
Okay. That's interesting. Well, that's cool. He made my number 4.
Yeah.
But we'll leave it.
Well, do you want to go to your number 3 now?
All right, number 3. This is the one where... So we've already got 2 crossovers. Okay, this is the one where I doubt you would have this, but you could surprise me. My number 3 is Styles P.
He is not my number 3.
Okay. Wait.
And he's not in my list.
Oh, okay. I was like, but he is my number 1, you loser.
No, he didn't make my list.
All right. Do you have? Can you remember his contribution, or was he...
Kind of. He's the second verse after Sheik Louch.
Yeah, Sheik Louch, baby.
No, it's Sheik Louch.
Yeah. So he like stood out to me as the second dude out the gate. Like Sheik Louch was number 1, and for me, Sheik Louch was actually a pretty mediocre start. So when Styles P hit with that second verse, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like this is more like it. Like he brought it. When he said, like, the very first thing he says is that he's the hardest in the world. And just the way he says it, like, I believe him. I believe he is the hardest in the world when he says that. And he's spitting that braggadocious gangster shit that I just love to hear. And because he's like an actual OG, like he does it so well. He does that shit so well. But an interesting thing about the song is that, like I said, it starts with Sheik Louch and then goes on to Styles P, but then there's no Jadakiss. Where's Jadakiss? Like, he could have had the whole locks on here. Like, K-Slay really missed a trick there. Like, I feel Jadakiss would have murdered this track. This is
he would have gone mental. Yeah. And the funny thing is, terminology in his verse mentions Jadakiss.
Yes, I recognize that too. Yeah, but he did it in like is terminology on your list?
No, he's not.
Okay. Because I don't like how we mentioned Jadakiss with like Jada Pinkett and Will. Like he referenced him in like, but associated with garbage topics like
Mayweather and like Ice Tiffany. Like he wasn't on my list, but I definitely, because his first line was, "I'm Jada drunk in the whip playing Jadakiss," and I was like, okay, oh, that's good, and then it fell out.
Yeah, then he was like, oh, I don't care about Jada and Will's biz or something. I'm like, nah, don't care about what you're talking about anymore. But like, Yeah. So Jadakiss would have been amazing for this song, and I think, like, I reckon if Jadakiss was here, he would have been on my top 5. Like, he would fit a Cypher song so well. But, like, we get the next best thing, and Styles P murdered it instead. So he is my number 3.
I like it because he didn't come into contention, if I can be honest.
That's interesting. Yeah. Well, he's number 3 for me. He beat out 47 other people, for Christ's sake.
Well, my number 3 is the one and only Ice-T.
I knew you were going to put him on the list because you talked to me about him before.
Yeah, we kind of just said who do you like.
Yeah.
But
he's not on my list. He did not make my list.
Oh, that I am surprised about. But Ice-T made my list. I just love another legend who I haven't heard rap. Like, when was the last time he rapped? Like, he's been doing TV shows, but he's not been rapping, and he's OG. But I just like the way he starts. Get shot in broad day, fucking around in LA. Mm-hmm. Like, he just sets the scene for what it is, and it's just fire. His flow is so good. And just like, I just love it. I'm a keep it gangster till they put me in the fucking dirt. Keep it. Cali keeps it grimy cuz Destiny Cold get work. Berg and Hair Trigger, West Coast Elmos, Khakis Chucks, Lowrides, White Tees, and Homicides.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so gangster. And I know he's just listing shit, but it just works so well to me. Like, I don't know, there's just something about the way he came out and just delivered on this. Like, it was just so good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, it makes me want to go listen to Ice-T shit. Just because, like, if he's spinning those bars and he's been, like, technically retired for however long, I want to go and see what he was doing back in his OG days.
Yeah, and he is another, like, super OG. Like, he was, like, pre-NWA. Like, he was the West Coast dude before there were West Coast dudes. Like, early 80s shit, and, like, he's still doing it. Although he is mainly now like you said,
he's an actor.
He's an actor, TV, movies and stuff. Like,
I think it's like SVU.
Yeah, and movies. He's done movies as well, but, like, yeah, I wonder when, the last time he actually released an album or something. That'd be interesting.
Because it is surprising that he got, like, these legends on there. Like, I wonder how. Like, did DJ K-Slay just go, "Oi, Ice-T, you want to go on this track?" Like,
yeah.
Imagine how it would have happened.
Well, I thought that's, like, what I imagine happened. Like, I love the fact that K-Slay has, like, such a reputation that he could get, the Ice-Ts and the Styles Ps and, like, all these, the Wu-Tang boys are there, and, like, he got everyone on here. Like, that shows how much respect people have for him. And how much respect he has for, like, the OGs like Ice-T and stuff. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine having, like, your phone book just filled with rappers. That's just what I imagine he's got. Just like, I could get, like, do I want Jadakiss on here? Now I'll go for, like, this person or that person, or just, like, imagine.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I am almost I'm almost 100% sure he chucked Jadakiss a text and he was like, "Nah, I'm busy."
Yeah, probably. I even imagine how many people did he have to text or, like, shoot an Instagram message to.
Yeah, and how many people said no. That's interesting.
Yeah. DJ K-Slay, you can let us know on the Slim Fitty B Committee podcast.
Yeah.
How many people did you have to message?
50.
Yeah, imagine that. 100% hit rate. All right. There's 3 down. So what are your top 3, Danny?
So my top 3 were, and we haven't talked about one yet, but number 5 was RJ Payne. Number 4 was Twister. Number 3 was Styles P.
And my bottom 3 from my top 5. So number 5 was RJ Payne, number 4 was Grandmaster Kaz, and number 3 was Ice-T.
That's interesting. So we definitely... okay. I'm really curious to see who you left off, because I was so sure that my top two would be on your list, but obviously one of them's not.
Mm,
So who's go? I think it's me. Do I go now?
it is you, yeah.
number
It's your
two?
number 2.
Unless Twister is your number 2.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna go. Obviously, it's number 1 then. Okay, my number 2, which is I'm guessing he did not make your list, which is weird to me. But my number 2 is Joel Ortiz.
Well, I heavily considered Joel Ortiz, but he was in consideration, but I pushed him out because
Wow.
for one of two reasons.
Mm.
One, because I thought it was a typical Aaron choice,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. And number two, because he didn't come to mind at first, and when I listened to his bars and they were really good, and then when I read them, they were even better. But I had other people that I preferred going back to.
Wow.
So I still think he did a 5 out of 5 verse, but there are others that I preferred listening to.
Wow. Yeah. Because for me, like, he is top 2 and blows just about every single other rapper out of the water except the number 1. Like, if it wasn't for my number 1, Joel Ortiz would be number 1 by a mile. Like, he just goes off on this song. He's doing like some serious lyrical gymnastics on here. Just like from the start, he goes, "Pass the baton, I'm rap crack packed in a bong. One immaculate blast and you gone. My craft is beyond mastered. It's blasphemy having me on a song for less than 3/16 like a chapter from John." I mean, Jesus. Like, that is gold.
I also love his ending. His ending is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, literally the second half of that verse, it's impeccable. Like, he shows what he can do.
Yeah. I even like the line where he has that like cheeky line about Hitler where he says, "Rappers get laid off when I'm working. Man, I ain't even have to concentrate to get this 8 off like a German."
Yeah, that is so smart.
Yeah. Like, concentrate. That's cheeky. That's naughty. And then 8 off, as in like the gun 8, but Adolf sounds like Adolf, like a German. Like, that takes some balls to say a line.
Also, 8 lines.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Everyone has 8 bars except Royce. I think Royce cheated and had like 16 or 12 or something. Naughty.
I think Twister had more as well, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it felt like it. Definitely felt like it. Like, he can pack like a million words into one bar. That's the thing.
Yeah. But I also love that his end is, "That's light work. I can rap last or rhyme first. Pick your poison. I'm poised. They pick in my verse."
Yeah. And then
and
then they put him in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was annoying. But yeah, like, I just love his verse. Like, he injects his like signature humor in there, but also shows off like serious technical skills as well. So that earns him my number 2 spot.
Well, I'm not sure that we'll have anyone the same left.
How can our number 1 not be the same? Oh, if your number 1 is Twister, though. Hang on.
I'll tell you right now, my number 2 is Bun B.
You're joking.
No.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, I'm serious.
So my number 1 does not appear on your list.
No.
That is mental. That is actually mental.
When we started doing this, can I just say, we were like, oh my God, we're going to have the same rappers.
Yeah.
And now we're like, what the hell? But let me talk about Bun B. And then let's talk about Twister, because I think now it's out. The cat is out of the bag.
Yeah.
With my number 1, and then you can reveal your number 1. I think it's worked well, actually, doing it like this.
Yeah.
But Bun B, his voice is amazing. Like, it just sounded so good, and it's just aggressive, nasty dog shit. Like, I love that verse. And he says at the very beginning, "Say big nuts and a bigger heart. You were scrubbing these streets. I play a bigger part." Like, and the line's like, better believe that you don't want to see an end start because you'll be laid up with doctors looking at an end chart.
Yeah.
Yo, they got me snapping necks again. So you better call your family and your next of kin. Because when we go to raw end, it's like a Mexican. I cut your ass up like a pacho and extra thin. Like I just, it was so vicious and so aggressive and so early that I was just like, and the voice just capped it off. Like, imagine like the doctor pointing at a chart and going, oh, you got to call your next of kin.
Yeah.
Like, like you are dead. Like it's over. So he made my number 2 every time. It like gives me shivers every time I listen to that bar.
Yeah. No, for me, like, he was probably in consideration for the number 5 slot. But there was actually nothing bad about his verse. I think like the voice stands out so much, like in a good way. His voice just carries him. But I think there was also a lot of like N-bombs in his verse. Like I couldn't. He said the N-word a lot in there, and I was like, okay, I'll pick someone else. I didn't want to pick it because of that. I don't know why, but yeah.
But if we are talking voice, my second person was Trey the Truth had a sick voice.
Yeah, he's a weird one for me because he's got like a whispering growl kind of thing going.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't like really project. He like whispers, but it's in a really gravelly voice, and I don't know if I like that. Like.
It's very deep. I actually went because I was like, I want to hear more of this voice. I want to see what it's like in his actual music. He has trappy songs.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really suit his voice, I found.
Yeah.
Like this beat suits his voice because it's grimy and dark.
He always sounds the same as well. He sounds like that on every song, like whispering, growling style. I just don't think I'm a fan, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised by that. That tends to be your type of like the rough voice, but I do see how like the whispering, like it doesn't. The challenge for him is he doesn't have any of the like passion or like the delivery because the voice is so distinctive that like he just does that. He doesn't have those inflections that you kind of need.
Yeah. So I don't think I even considered him at all. Trey the Truth.
Yeah, I didn't. To tell you the truth, I didn't consider him either.
For Christ's sake. We don't need your transitions today, mate. You're off the hook today.
I know. Yeah. I had to die. I'm training.
Yeah.
But that was my number 2. My number 1 was Twister.
Jesus.
My number 1 was Twister. You know I'm a sucker for fast rap.
Yeah.
But I thought his rhyme scheme was extremely impressive. For the fact that he did it fast, and it was extremely impressive, I was just like, oh, damn, you're saying some sick shit here. Like, hit him in the body like a millimeter is the first line. Like, without a minute for the rhythm, a lobotomy, if anybody, pull it when they want to get in the middle of the way I do, I never given an apology. Like, veterans who murdering and get up on the beat, and be the one in the middle of the battle, and I'm ready for war. Like, he just sounds so good. I'm butchering it because I don't have the speed, but I thought he sounded so amazing. He goes fast and then he slows down and he says, K-Slay just made away. And he switches up his flow in there to make and I stay safe when I lay 8. And it's like a take late. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah, but
I was just a huge fan.
Yeah. Those lyrics that you said at the start, though, when you listen to the song, there's no way you hear those lyrics.
Agreed.
You don't.
But
why are you quoting them to me if you can never catch up on them? Like you can't hear what he's saying.
In a way, but now that I've read them, I'm like trying to pick them more and more and more. Like every now and again, I get another word, but
yeah,
I just can't. I don't know. I've really liked his verse. I thought he killed it. So, and especially for the recent shit that he's been releasing has been absolute dog shit. Like he's been doing some strange things, but this is like back to old best Twister. So he was my number 1. But yeah.
Yeah, like he was my number 4. Like I think he killed it by doing exactly what he does best. Like he's rapping at the speed of light and like, you know, even though you can't pick up what he's actually saying unless you pause the entire track and just read it off Rap Genius. Like, you can still tell that it's not gibberish. You can hear like the diction, like he's actually saying real words, even though they're incredibly fast. And it just takes unbelievable talent to do what he does. Like no one else on that whole song can do what he just did. So like it was like, his verse really got my adrenaline pumping. Like it was such a burst of speed that like we hadn't heard up until that point. It just like injected life into the track. Like I just thought it was really impressive, but not enough to be number one.
Do you know who I feel sorry for?
Oh yeah, E40.
Well, no, I feel sorry for John Connor because John Connor tried to do a little bit of fast flow, but then he got absolutely blown out of the water by Twister. But I actually liked E40 a lot.
Really? I thought he was like enjoyable, but I thought because he went right after Twister, like he slowed it down way too much that it was kind of jarring to listen to.
Yeah, I can understand that. He's like, I was going to bring him up a little bit later, but because we're talking about him, like, I think his verse is so unique that I loved it so much. Like, he didn't try to do anything crazy. Like, he just did his thing. He just did quirky, kind of like, his bars are just very, like, strange. They're corny in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need no iron. I'm already creased. What does that mean? Like, what does that mean? But I loved it anyway. Like, he's just, like, I just like how it's like, rappers don't rap like me. I don't rap like them. I'm like, like he was just so himself that I loved it so much. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it. He sounds so different, and I really liked it. He was like one of my ones that just stupidly I like for whatever reason. There's nothing too impressive about the bars. There's nothing impressive about like what he says, and the delivery is not that impressive, but I still loved it for whatever reason.
Yeah, he is entertaining. Like he's so unique that it's entertaining, but kind of silly at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Here we are, and like, I'm so like, it's so weird to me that my number one is not on your top five. I can't believe that.
See, now I don't even know who your number one is.
Well, would you even like want to have a guess?
I don't think it's Royce to 5'9". I'm going to count him out.
No, it's not.
I'm going to say, is it Papoose?
He's done it. He's bloody done it. How in the hell can you leave Papoose off your list? How?
I don't know. I was considering him, and then I was like, oh, but I don't want to leave these other people off. So I left him off.
I can't understand how you could listen to him and hear his lyrics and go, oh, nah, I'm going to put someone else on. I can't. Like, he absolutely murders this song. His bars are lethal. Like, let me read this to you. Overrated, ungrateful parasite, undeserving leech. Shove the barrel right in your mouth. You don't deserve to speak. The Ku Klux Klan killer, bury him in the earth beneath. Drown him in gasoline, light the fire, and burn the sheets. I mean, god damn.
Yeah, I had those highlighted.
I mean,
those were like, I don't know why he wasn't in my top five. He probably should have been, but I was just happy with the other people. Like, I don't know, Papoose as well. Yeah, you love to say you love Papoose. Whenever we're together, I always show you Papoose songs. So he does hit my flavor, but yeah, I don't know why I left him off. I still stick with my top five. He was definitely in consideration, but no.
Yeah, like for me, he is hands down number one. Like maybe Joel Ortiz comes close for me, but really, it's Papoose by a mile. And like I actually had to rewind that shit a couple of times. Just hearing it once was not enough. I had to keep listening to what he was saying. He absolutely murdered it, and 100% number one.
Well, I'm just glad I chose it. The first guess, I guessed it.
That was pretty good. That was pretty impressive.
It was going to be risky if I didn't get it. I took the risk.
Yeah.
But I will say, I just want to ask you, because obviously we both know Royster 5'9" very well. What did you think of his finishing verse?
Well, could have been better. Like, he goes hard with internal rhyme schemes. Like, he definitely sounds good, but I have no idea what he's talking about. The lyrics make no sense to me. Like, it sounds like he's just making the words fit in a way that's, sounds pleasant on the ear. But if you actually analyze the lyrics, I don't think they make sense.
I agree with you. That's exactly what I wrote. I was like, this is all technique.
Yeah.
Like, his verse is technique.
Yeah.
And it's multi-syllable rhymes, but like, what is there really in this like, content-wise? Like, would you ever listen to this again? Probably not, unless you were studying it for how to do multi-syllable internal rhyme schemes. But like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was actually a weak finish. And my other critique is he didn't actually have his own music video.
Yeah, that was kind of weird as well. Like a few didn't. Like Raekwon also didn't have his own video portion. Like, it's weird as well because they put video of him in the song, but the lips obviously don't sync up because he's not recording his actual verse. It's just like from older music videos, so it just feels weird. It looks weird. Yeah, it doesn't especially as like Royce being the final verse. It's kind of weird ending.
It is a very weird ending. I wonder why he didn't do it. Maybe he didn't have time, but yeah, I just didn't like that. I was like getting into it. Everyone's got like their own unique kind of video. And then all of a sudden you just have Royce who has random videos of him recording other shit in there. And it's like, it's just a strange finish.
Yeah. The one, who do you have like one section of the video that you liked the most or you thought was the best done?
I got to think. I don't have anything that stands out at the moment.
The reason I'm asking is because I like, if, in my notes, I just wrote, I thought Chris Rivers, Chris Rivers?
Oh, yeah, with his head up against like the cop car.
Yeah, like he actually did something interesting visually for his portion of the video. Like everyone else is just like in a car or in front of some building and just rapping their verse. But Chris Rivers like actually, took the time to set up this scenario where he's being arrested by the cops and is being shoved into the car while he's rapping. I thought that was really cool. And like,
I thought that was really cool too.
He's like the only one who did that.
Yeah, he's the only one who did that. Everybody else just did the classic, rapping in on the street or rapping in the studio or rapping sitting down. We had a few people rapping sitting down.
Yeah.
I think, who was it? Was it Source Money? Was he? I think he was sitting down.
Yeah, geez. He needs to sit down.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah. He's a very big boy. But he sounded pretty good.
He was average to me.
His voice was good.
Yeah,
but his lines weren't great.
Yeah. I mean, he's like big pun levels of big. Like, he needs to look after himself. Because he's
I saw on Instagram he is actually starting to work out. So I think he must have seen the video and be like, that's not good.
Yeah. You know who else, speaking of like physical appearance, who really stood out to me was
I know who you're gonna say.
Oh yeah, who am I gonna say?
Melly Mel?
Yes. Melly Mel, like one of the OGs of the rap game. Do you know how old he is?
No, he looks fantastic.
He is 60 years old.
No way. He is jacked.
He is bigger. He is more jacked than any other rapper on this song. He's massive and he's 60 years old. It's insane.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
I know, for 60 years old, that's incredible. How old would you think he would have looked?
Like 40s.
Yeah. Nowhere near 60. He's looking good.
Yeah. I wonder if it's steroids, though. That's my only wonder. Even if it is, he still looks insanely good.
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed that it's steroids.
Yeah, but he looks amazing. Like, I saw him and went, whoa. I didn't even listen to what he said.
Yeah.
I was too busy just going, oh, you're jacked, you're huge.
I know. Yeah, that was impressive. Yeah. Anything else?
I was going to say, did you have anyone who didn't do a good job?
Oh, yeah. It's a few. But, like, I'd have to go through... I don't know if I can, off the top of my head, who was bad.
I had two standouts.
Okay,
who was bad.
Go on.
My first one, and I feel I'm sad because he actually passed away recently.
Oh yeah.
Fred the Godson.
Yeah.
He died because of COVID. So R.I.P. Fred. That sucks. But I'm glad he got to go on this track, but he did not do an impressive job.
I actually thought he was okay. Like, he actually did some... Wasn't he doing, like, some kind of... He was doing, like, a play on words. I don't know exactly what it was. Like, something to do with the streets.
Yeah.
Like, street stuff. And he kept saying streets, but in different contexts, like double entendres. I don't know. I'd have to go back, but I didn't think that verse was that bad.
No, I hated his end because he said, I don't play like Matt. The kid's a problem. Different kind of caliber of problem. And my whips look like algebra problem. And I hated that. I just thought it just was lazy to me. Okay. And I feel bad having a go at it. But, I don't think he did a great job. And I reckon my least favourite had to be, I think it was Mano. He sucked.
Yeah. My notes on him is the definition of average.
Yeah. I wrote that he was top 3 shittest verses on this whole posse cut. Clearly shit flow, shit bars, shit everything, embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't help myself. I wrote that I'm not missing you when you're gone.
Oy.
I was just like, I don't know. I feel bad for him because he was so obviously not to the caliber he needed to be. And probably it might not represent his ability, but he just said nothing of note. He just talked about just random shit.
Yeah. I think someone who I thought was like pretty bad was the dude just before Royce, Hocus 45th. You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
He had super whack lyrics. Like, his first bar is 45th, I'm a shooter, ends no, I shoot shit. Like, that's so lazy. I'm a shooter, so people know I shoot. Like, That is embarrassing. And then the verse is just horrible from there. Like, that was a pretty bad one. I've never heard of him before. Hocus. That's such a bad name. Hocus 45th.
Yeah, he's better off saying Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, that's way better than Hocus 45th. That does not roll off the tongue at all. It sucks.
I will say I wasn't a huge fan of people with COVID-19 references.
Yeah, true. There was one dude. That was the guy before him. The guy before Hocus 45th, Bino or something.
He did have. It was just all COVID references. I didn't like that.
He said social distancing, but I still will spank ends. Like, that doesn't even. Like, he's social distancing, but he's still gonna
spank you.
He's still like he'll risk catching COVID to beat a guy's ass. Like, that's weird. That doesn't make sense. Like, I hate that. Yeah, that was shit as well.
Yeah. But he did say, I got 30 in this bitch with the beam on 9, whoever, get your mask shot off your face. And then he ruined it with social distancing.
Yeah.
But there were a few people who talked about COVID. I think who else spoke about COVID? There was the female rapper.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
3D Nutty.
Yeah. I thought she was all right. I thought she was pretty good.
Yeah, she was okay. I just, again, like her line, masks and gloves on, like, I'm trying to dodge COVID. Like,
but some people had good COVID lines, though.
The thing is, though, the only reason I'm not a huge fan of COVID lines is because it's the easy topic. Everybody's discussing it.
No,
It's like,
I think rappers should be talking about it though. It's not like it's what you're saying. Just ignore the fact that we've been living with COVID for a year.
yeah, I know, but I don't know. In a track like this, I don't want to hear about it. I just want to hear you rhyme bars. And maybe it's the way most of the people who did discuss it didn't discuss it well.
Yeah.
But I found it most of the ways that people spoke about COVID did not work.
Yeah. Well, Styles P's my number 3, and he had like a COVID line. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like, I was in a mask before COVID, like because he was like rubbing.
Yeah.
Shit. He did it well. Yeah. There was a couple of other rappers who had cool bars that I might want to shout out. There was Ransom. Do you know?
Yeah, Ransom was good.
Ransom had these killer bars where he goes, "I'm a survivor. It's not a mystery. Even when you're making the shot, it's still a miss to me." Like, that is nasty, dog. I love that.
Yeah, and he had the Mr. T reference and CT Fletcher. He did a lot of T kind of wordplay.
That's the part I didn't like, because he went.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
He went way too far with the Mr. T, and then I took a shot and I missed the T, and then I put on my shirt and it was a Mr. T. Like, it was too much. He was trying to be too clever, and then it felt too forced. Like, did not like that.
But I also wanted to shout out DJ Paul.
Did you? I thought he was really average.
I actually thought it was pretty good. What I found strange, though, about his line, he says, "Papoose let loose, put the bitches in the ground." Yeah. The Papoose already went.
Yeah. I don't know why, of all people, he mentioned Papoose as well. Like, I don't think they've ever collaborated, or I don't think they're associated. Like, that was weird to me. I didn't understand it. And, like, he was hard to hear with what he was saying, with his delivery as well. Like, he was weird. I didn't like DJ Paul.
I also thought Trick wasn't as bad as we've heard before.
Yeah, he was doing some interesting shit with his voice. Like,
yeah,
he didn't sound like his normal style. He was putting on like a voice, which was kind of interesting. I can't really describe it, but it was like a Corleone. Like, he was doing some weird shit, but like, I liked
Kryptonian.
Yeah, I liked it. There was one other dude, my son.
Yeah, I had him as well.
Yeah, he had like those first 2 bars again. Some people, like, they, in a song where you have 8 bars, you've got to hit us like with the first 2 bars to really grab your attention. And he comes in with, "Welcome to the revolution. This is gonna be televised. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A real end never dies." Like, woo!
Yeah.
Woo! That's so good. That's amazing. But then, like, I feel like the rest of his verse wasn't up to that level, so I left him off the list. But he was close. He was close to the top 5.
I also like Lil Flame, actually.
I love Little Flame. Yeah.
Yeah, he did a really good job.
Yeah. Especially where he's like, at the end, like with his ad-libs, where he's like, "I'm the pallbearer that'll throw you in the ground with the blacka blah." Like, that was so good. I love that too. Yeah, I wrote that down because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought he did a great job. What did you think of, because you in this, you've got quite a few rappers that you love. Like, you love Wu-Tang, and Ghostface was in there. What did you think of Ghostface?
Yeah, like, I thought, like, Ghost was just like doing what he always does. Like, he almost speaks in riddles sometimes, but like, I can't really understand. He's speaking English, but he's got this like Wu-Tang slang, like this criminology slang that like him and Raekwon do, which makes it really hard for me to actually like understand what he's trying to say. But I just appreciated his presence. I just like that he's there. Like, when he came on as like the 5th guy, I was like, oh my God, they got Wu-Tang on here. Like, that was just exciting to me that he was there. But his verse wasn't like super impressive to me. And that was the same with Raekwon. Like, same thing. Like, he was there, which was cool, but like nothing too special.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's all I got, to be honest.
Well, there's obviously other people like Benny the Butcher who did an okay job as well.
Yeah, disappointing.
Yeah. Like, there were just a few people who spoke about, sex raps, and it was like, this is probably not the place to do that. It's not that impressive. Whereas, like, everybody in our lists didn't talk about sex. They just literally talked about how they're the best rapper and they're going to murder you.
Yeah. Like, you've got 8 bars. You've got to make an impact. You can't waste any of those bars talking about how he goes and buys bras for his ladies. Like, that's not interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
His delivery was good, though. That's the only thing I'm going to say. He sounded like his flow was nice, but his content wasn't that good. So, he didn't make either of our top 5s and definitely wasn't in contention. So, a disappointing outing for some people who you thought would do well. And I also noted Locksmith as well didn't do anything that interesting. Like, he just, again, did multi-syllable stuff, but, like, he didn't really say anything of note. So there were a few people who you and I both have noted before, but I just like this track as an idea in general.
Yeah. It's just exciting to watch the video for the first time anyway, and just Chic, then Styles P, then Benny the Butcher, then Bun B, then Ghostface Killer, and it just keeps going and going, like name after name. It's like an event. This song was like an event. I was so excited to see it, to hear it, to talk about it. It was so cool.
Yeah, I think this was definitely fun to just look at and review, because it is literally just it's like a pure hip hop track for a hip hop head.
Yeah.
That's like, if you like hip hop, you like this. If you don't like hip hop, you're not going to like this. It's just one of those tracks where you really got to be into it. But I think it definitely comes down as like one of the most impressive tracks of the year, just for what it achieved.
Yeah, for sure. And I just still can't believe you didn't put Papoose in your top 5. It's embarrassing.
I'll reflect before our next podcast and make sure that I get my shit together. But yeah, I think that leaves it with rolling 50 deep. Nice and quick, this one. An hour and 1 minute. What is that? That's the fastest we've ever done. So look at our speed. Matt has been slowing us down this whole time.
Well, to be honest, we talked about one song for an hour.
Yeah, and Matt has actually been shortening what he does recently. So it is definitely our fault. We like to talk about this stuff. But there you go. Definitely check it out. If you didn't check it out before the podcast, check it out now, because if you can't tell, both Danny and I are very passionate about this track. But yeah, this was definitely a highlight for us, and we should do. Hopefully, they'll release more of these things.
Yeah, I'd be keen. I love posse cuts. I'm always looking out for them. So if they do another big one, we'll be on it.
All right. See you later.
Thanks for listening to the show. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram at @the_Slim Fitty Biggie Committee, and stay tuned for our next podcast. Bye for now.